Hello Achiever, I am David Laroche and today we are with a new guest in La Roya and he is Jim Lutz. He's a motivational speaker, one of the top speakers, and we will learn how to speak and how to succeed, and he has great keys to share us today, and he is with me. Hello Jim.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much.
How are you?
I'm doing fantastic today. How about yourself?
Very
good.
I would love to know more about you and your story, and can you share us your story?
Sure, I'd be happy to. One of my possessions I'm most proud of is my license plate. I have the California license plate Entrepreneur. And it goes way back to when I was in my early 20s and I was sitting on the beach and I really didn't know what I wanted to do. And a gentleman sat down and he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm sitting here." And he goes, "No, where are you going with your life?" And I said, "I'm still deciding what I want to do." And he told me he was an entrepreneur, and I had no idea what that was. I had no idea. It wasn't a popular word back then, and I had no idea what he was talking about. I said, "What do you do?" He said, "I'm an entrepreneur." I said, "What's that?" I go, "Is that a person that studies bugs, or what is it?" I didn't know what the word meant. He said, "No, that's a man or a woman that dictates where their life goes any day, any week, any month, any year." I go, "Well, how do you do that?" Because my father was a businessman, my brother was a doctor. I just never heard anybody that set their own schedule before. And so I asked him, "What's the first step?" He goes, "Well, it'd be in business for yourself." He goes, "But there's one step before that one." I go, "What's that?" He goes, "You need to build yourself first." He goes, "First you build yourself, then you build the business." I said, "Well, how do I do that?" And he said, "You begin to study specialized knowledge that's not taught in college. You begin to study success. You begin to study how the mind works so that you can move forward toward your goals." So he recommended some books, and I went and read them, and I got very, very excited about that. And I began to change. And as I read more and more books and listened to more and more audios, it all came back to the human mind. So from there, I ended up launching into a personal development corporation, and it developed into a very large company, and I'm blessed to have incredible friends, new friends like you, and all over the world, and it's been quite a journey, and it's not over yet.
It's great. I love that.
Yeah, it's fun.
And how old were you when you met this?
21.
21. Okay.
21 years old.
And how did you meet him?
I was sitting at the beach in Pacific Beach, and he sat down next to me. There's a wall. And you just really down there don't do a lot. You just sit and enjoy the day, enjoy the sunshine, enjoy the beach. And he sat down and we just began talking. So it might have been a divine intervention, but if I could find that man, I would buy him a Mercedes-Benz because he changed everything for me, and I have no idea who it is.
It's great. It's great. I love that. It's a movie.
It is a movie.
Yes,
Mind is programmed 3 ways: authority figure, repetition, and traumatic incident. Authority figure, repetition, traumatic incident. So here we have a slogan for a company called Nike that makes tennis shoes. The slogan is "Just do it." Most people would know that slogan, but they never memorized it. So now get it out of your head. They can't get it out of their head. It is programmed in because Michael Jordan, the authority figure, said it on the television. Just do it. They've heard it over and over and over and over. Now it's in their subconscious mind and they can't get it out. Not unlike somebody saying, "You're never going to grow up to be anything. You're not as smart as your brother. You're overweight. You're ugly." It's programmed in, and unless you go in and change that programming, it will have an influence over everything you do. Everything you do. Another rule of the mind is the more a subconscious thought is accepted, the harder, the more difficult it becomes to remove it through conscious intervention. So the reason I'm such an advocate of subconscious reprogramming techniques that I've developed is because life is moving. 5 years goes by like that. You're a young guy. You'll see. It goes 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. I think it is prudent to get a person to get on track as quickly as possible. Because if they're going to bring their dreams to fruition, if they're going to bring their music, let's say, to the market, then we all get to hear the music. And we may be affected by whatever their dream is. So I think there's a a big need out there for people to progress toward whatever their dream is as quickly as possible.
Great. I would love to know how do you help someone to break a limiting belief? For example, I'm too young. Yeah, I'm too young to succeed in life.
Mm-hmm.
How do you do, for example, if I have this kind of belief?
Well, there's a number of ways to do it, but let's look at it. Let me give you just a brief example of how I would do it. The subconscious mind cannot differentiate. It cannot tell the difference between what is imagined and what is real. So, if I told you right now to speed your heart rate up, you can't do it. If I said sweat, you can't do it. If I said make your adrenal glands secrete, you can't do it. But if you were to have a dream tonight sleeping that there was an intruder with a knife and he was going to harm you, you would wake up, pop, 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 sweat, adrenal glands. Why? There's nobody there. There's nobody here now, and there's nobody there at night either. So how come you can't do it now? Because you're thinking consciously. Your mind says there is no threat. When you dream in the subconscious. It thinks there's a threat. So if I program your subconscious to be a millionaire, it really thinks you are. Just like it thought there was the intruder. If I program your subconscious to say, I am the most successful youngest entrepreneur in history, it thinks you are. It thinks you are. And it goes to work to bring an equilibrium up to make that your reality. It's no different than when you hear what you focus on expands. The problem is when you function consciously, you focus on the wrong things. When you function subconsciously, the subconscious is a computer. It does not know. Just like it didn't know there wasn't really an intruder, it has no idea that you're not that successful. So it goes to work to make it happen. So your physical senses become more acutely aware. You'll overhear conversations. You'll see things you wouldn't have seen before because it's working 24/7 to bring to you what's programmed in.
I would love to know, it is a global question, according to you, how to unleash one's potential.
Well, first, you're going to talk to different people that have different ideas and concepts. To me, if you're not dealing with the subconscious mind using my techniques or somebody's techniques that's competent at it, then you're always going to default because your conscious mind will always be there. It will always be there as an enemy in many cases. Not all, but in many cases as an enemy. So once the subconscious is programmed, then the belief system is there. The belief is inside. And you see that all over the place. You see it with people that are born into rich families. They believe they're going to be rich. They already are. They believe that they can succeed because they're around successful people. Remember, repetition, authority figure, traumatic incident. If you put a tarantula spider on a baby, it just plays with it. It doesn't know. Until somebody says that's dangerous or until it bites you. That would be repetition, authority figure, or traumatic incident. You know, it's interesting. We're here in San Diego, and we're about 30 miles from Mexico. Okay?
Only?
Yes, it's right down the street. So we're in 30 minutes, you and I would be in Mexico. So the interesting thing is if you look at American children in San Diego, say an 8-year-old boy, they are told growing up, do not talk to strangers. Don't talk to strangers. Don't talk to strangers. Something bad is going to happen. Look at the girl on TV. She never came back. Don't talk to strangers. Don't talk to strangers. Don't talk to strangers. Then they get into sales or speaking or network marketing or some other business. They can't talk to strangers. They tell them, go talk to strangers. They can't. Why? They were programmed through what? Authority figure, parents and grandparents. Repetition, don't talk to strangers, something bad's going to happen, right? Traumatic incident, maybe they had something happen or they saw something on television. You go 30 miles away to Mexico. Same sunshine, same ocean, same everything. 8-year-old boy. Their parents tell them, go talk to every stranger you see. Go out there, talk to everybody. They're knocking on your car window. They're coming up shaking your hand because their parents programmed them that our life will be better if you talk to strangers. They're only 30 minutes away. Completely opposite programming.
It's amazing.
It is amazing. And
Yeah.
it's how we grow up, but there's strategies, techniques that you can implement to change it very, very quickly. And remember that confidence is not only body language, voice tone, you're very confident, but it's also an energetic exchange of how people feel. People want to follow somebody that's confident. So follow doesn't mean obey. Follow means feel good. Follow me, like, I believe this person. He's confident, because most people aren't confident. So if you were to take, let's say you said an example of you're a leader going into battle,
Yeah.
and you said to the person, "Hey, let's go up the hill. I think maybe we can take over the hill. I mean, there's a lot of people up there, but I'm pretty sure we can probably do it." I'm not following that person, right? All right, but if he says, "No problem, I got it, let's go," I might follow that person. Do you know what skydiving is? With the parachute, you jump out of the airplane. All right, I did that, right? I was scared, so I did the skydive. So I get there, and you strap yourself on another person. They strap you together, and you both go like this together.
Yeah.
All right. One guy walks in, and he's like this. He looks like he just got in a fight with his girlfriend or his wife. He's like tired. He's little. And the other guy looked like a soldier. I said, "I'm going with you." I don't even know who was better, but that guy had more confidence, and if I'm going to strap myself to somebody and jump out of an airplane, it's going to be the guy that looks like he can take care of things. So the same thing. Remember what I just said, take care of things. So when you're in front of the room, and you're going to be a great speaker, when you're in front of the room, they need to feel you can take care of things, whatever those things are that they need to take care of. They're there for a reason. They're there to become better. They need to feel you're the person that can make them become better. And if you're good at what you do, then they're happy to pay you. You're happy to give them the information, and everybody wins. It's win-win for everybody.
So you are saying that the first step to teach something to someone is to inspire them, because you are confident, and they want to follow you because you spread good energy, right?
You know what the 4 most powerful words are?
Yeah.
I believe in you.
Yeah, I think so.
I believe in you. Because people grow up, they don't believe in themselves because nobody ever believed in them. Once you believe in somebody, they begin to grow and grow and grow, and then they build self-confidence, self-esteem, and self-image. Your income will always be at whatever level your self-image is. Every time. That's why people win the money in the lottery and they lose the money. Say you have a couple that wins the lottery in America, $300 million, but they've never had money before. So now you take them to La Jolla, beautiful, this is a very wealthy city. You take them to La Jolla and they go to a party. And the people at the party are only worth $100 million. It's a lot of money. They're worth 3 times as much, but they don't feel like it. So their subconscious is saying, we don't belong here. Why are we here with all these rich people? You are the rich people, but they don't feel it. They may have $300 million in the bank, 3 times what anybody else has, but their subconscious hasn't caught up yet. So now, guess what? That's why people lose all their money, because their mind is programmed to be poor. Even if you hand them the money, their subconscious needs to catch up. They need the program. People win the lottery all the time and 2 years later have nothing, because their subconscious said, get back to where you belong. Get back to where you belong. So I think that the programming is paramount to personal change. It absolutely needs to be done. Otherwise, you're going to lengthen the time frame. People can give you theories, they can give you strategies, and they sound good, but unless you deal with the subconscious programming, the majority of people are going to default. Because remember, you're always a product of your environment. Remember I said repetition, authority figure, traumatic incident. If you're around an environment that's unsupportive, especially at your age, when people get around entrepreneurs, you could tell, when I came in here and you told me what your goal was and your dream, right? Did I laugh at it? No. But a lot of times, the younger a person, if they're not around entrepreneurs that dream big, they'll be made fun of.
Yeah.
And that hurts. it not only hurts emotionally, but it affects them as well. So the idea is to make sure that you get around an environment that's always supportive.
Yeah, I believe a lot in that.
Yeah, if you're not around an environment, then the more you need to work on yourself. You know, the more you need to work on yourself to create a barrier of influence from that environment. Because we're always around somebody. You know, people always say to me that come visit me from all over the world in San Diego, private clients. I do professional poker players, athletes, and not a lot of private clients, CEOs, people that fly in, and they say, look at everybody in San Diego. They're all in shape. Like everybody exercises, you know, they're in great shape. So it's harder to become overweight in San Diego than it is in other areas of the country to where everybody's overweight. You know, so conversely, it's hard to be in an area of the country to where nobody is physically fit and be the only person that starts doing push-ups on the floor. You go down here to the beach, you see people all over exercising, running, doing push-ups, yoga, because that's the environment. So it becomes more conducive to people being in shape here. Same thing. If you're around entrepreneurs, I had to leave my friends. You know, when I was 22, 23, I had to leave them behind because they were pulling me back. You know, oh, you're not going to be a millionaire. You can't do that. You have a high school education. You're not going to be able to. I had to make a decision to get new friends. It was tough back then, but I was leaving. I was moving forward and they weren't. And I didn't want that influence around me.
I think I totally believe that, and I totally agree. I did the same. And do you have some life lessons you would like to share to youth with your experiences?
Well, the first life lesson is that seconds connect to minutes, minutes connect to hours, hours connect to days, days connect to weeks, weeks connect to months, months connect to years, years connect to decades, decades connect to legacies. So you have to understand that mastering the minute is mastering the legacy. Mastering the minute is mastering the year. And it's more than just living in the now, it's mastering that minute. It's mastering interacting with people with no agenda. Because as the more we become involved in business and life and people, the more you start hearing, I call it layered listening. I never listen to what a person is saying, I listen to what they mean. Because 80% of the time, what they're saying isn't what they mean. And we know that because everybody's selling something, everybody wants something, everybody has an agenda. So you learn to listen in a different way. So one of the life lessons is mastering your minute. Can you master every minute? Then can you master every hour? Then can you master every day? The other thing is, second life lesson, it's a great term, is when you show me your calendar for the week or the month. All successful people schedule their time. They understand they cannot make time. You can only direct it or invest it. You can't make anymore. There's only 24 hours. You can't make 25. So you can never make time. You can only invest it or direct it. So when I look at somebody's calendar, the first thing I do if I was working with somebody, I say, show me your calendar for the week. Okay, now show me your calendar for the month. I don't schedule a month out. Well, you better. Now, I want to see in your calendar where you have your future. I go, what? Where's your future? I see go to the movies with my girlfriend. I see work on Saturday on my films. I see go bicycle riding, take the kids. I see all of the things you have to do. Where is your future? So you, for instance, scheduled an interview with me today, right?
Yeah.
Your future's in your calendar. That's why you're moving forward. That's why you're going to be a super success. Your future is in your calendar. How many people ever put anything in their calendar that is, I'm going to spend 2 hours on my future? Nobody. So if you don't plan your future, then you just arrive there and then you get upset. It's not what I wanted. We didn't plan it. If you look at football teams, you know, professional football here in America, their goal, life lesson number 3, their goal is to win the Super Bowl, right? But did they go out there and just say, we're going to win the Super Bowl? Nope, they have a playbook. They know the plays. They've practiced them. They've mastered them. But that's still not enough. What do they do after every single play? They all get around each other. Why? The landscape changes. You might have to change the play. Doesn't matter. Maybe that play didn't work. Maybe we're going to do this play instead. So people have to master their minutes so they can master their hours, because the environment changes. Things change. You have to be ready and then be able to maneuver yourself toward where you want to go.
Great. I love that.
You know, I just get such a joy out of meeting people, young people, like yourself, that are embarking, because that was me. That was me entering into this territory. And I'm a firm believer for subconscious reprogramming. I became one of the best in the world at it because it changed me first. It's like somebody that has a disease and they go on a special diet and it heals their disease. They now understand internally what it did. Had it not been for reprogramming my subconscious, I might have carried those limiting beliefs with me, for a long time.
Yeah.
So as your self-image and self-esteem, I remember my father said, what are you going to do? I said, I don't know. Why? And he was a businessman. And I said, what do you want me to do? He goes, I want you to go to college, and I want you to get a business degree, and I want you to become a vice president of a corporation. I said, okay. Can I ask you a question, Dad? I said, yeah. Why don't I just start out as president? He goes, what? I'll just start out as president. He goes, how are you going to do that? I go, put it on my business card. I'm going to start the company. See, his belief couldn't figure that out, because where he comes from, you work your way up. I didn't work my way up. I started out at the top. Why not? Put president. I go, look, Dad, president. It's on my card. He had no idea. My brother's a doctor, and then my dad says, oh, you're going to be pumping gasoline. I go, yeah, into my Mercedes-Benz. I'm going to be pumping gasoline. Watch me. So then I bought a house 3 times bigger than his, and then it was, I knew you could do it. But that's his programming, that you can't succeed unless you move up some hierarchy. You can succeed if you move out of your own way and you get around the right kind of people. Anybody that I travel with, you could tell me, your girlfriend could tell me that she has this crazy idea. I'd say, do you need money? I'll help you find some money for it, whatever. I'll help anybody. There is no crazy idea. Doesn't matter, because I'm around entrepreneurs. I don't think I know one person that has a job. I don't hang around people with jobs. Nobody I hang around makes their money through hourly wage, salary, base, or commission. They make their money through entrepreneurial activities. So I'm around that environment, that catalyst or that genesis of thought.
Yeah.
And it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it's a
I
blast.
love that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Jim, I have a serious question for you. I would love to help people, and me first. How can I become a loser? Do you have some keys, advice?
Yes, look and see what everybody else does and do that.
Okay. So I look at the average person, right? And I do the same?
No, you look at what everyone else does. You see, my philosophy is look and see what everyone does and don't do that. Don't make money the way they make money. Don't treat people the way they treat people. Don't eat what they eat. Don't think what they think. Don't read what they read. Don't go where they go. Because guess what? You're going to be just like the masses, the majority. There's nothing wrong with that if you're happy. But if you want to move beyond the majority, then don't do what they do. So the way you operate above average all the time is simply look and see what everybody else does and don't do that. I get up at 4 in the morning and I'm in the gym at 5 a.m. When 4 o'clock comes, all I have to do is ask myself a question. What would an average person do? Go back to sleep? I got to get up then. Would an average person eat that? Yeah, I'm not going to eat that. Would an average person blow off reading that book? Okay, I've got to read it then. So I'm always operating above average. So when somebody is not happy or they're not motivated, there's a difference between wanting and hoping and creating a plan to do it. So back to subconscious. If we're able to get them to internally believe it's possible for them, then they'll be motivated.
Great.
Easy. Another example to give you is somebody will not start a business that they don't believe in that will only cost $500, but they could make $1 million. That person will tell you they don't have the $500. But the next month, they'll go pay $5,000 to learn to cut hair. Why? Because they believe that if they get that degree to cut hair, they can make $20,000, $30,000 a year. They don't believe if they start this business that they can make $20,000, $30,000 a month. They don't believe it. So when you talk about millionaire, what subconsciously what you want to do, and this is very important, back to your how to be a loser question, very important that your excitation, your excitement, and your belief are in alignment. If I tell somebody that only makes $20,000 a year, they're going to be a millionaire, very, very difficult. Sounds good. That would be cool, but they don't believe they can do it. So you know what I tell somebody that makes $20,000 a year? I'm going to show you how to make 40. Now they're excited, and they believe I could probably make 40. When we go to 40, we take them to 80. 80 to 160, 160 to 320, 320 to 640, millionaire. Start with the steps up the ladder. Don't try to go from the bottom all the way to the top, because your mind goes, I don't know if I can do that. Before you learn to make $1 million, you need to learn to make 100,000.
Yeah.
Before you can make 100,000, you need to learn how to make 10. Before you make 10, you need to learn how to make 1,000, 100, and then your first dollar. So once you're able to step it up, your subconscious goes, I can do that. I can go to that next step. And that's how you move your way, keeping belief in sync with where you're moving to.
I love this
Makes
answer.
sense?
Yeah, thank you very much.